We are also launching a brand new add-on for our online shop called the Audio Batch Converter. So this has been something that people have requested, and I'll let you do a quick demo of how this is useful.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an awesome tool for essentially when you need to have a bunch of files that you need to convert. You know, we've got it open here. We can load it directly from the start page. You see we have this new icon here, Audio Batch Converter. Gary, you tell me all the time that you get sent files to be mixed and they're at 24, 44, 1 or whatever. Sometimes they're clipped, they're normalized to 0 dB.
Right.
You like to work everything when you mix 2496.
Right.
So for things like where he gets sent a folder of files where he needs to like convert all of them at once, this is a tool for that. So for example, you know, we can click add folder. I've got a folder, stems for converting. We'll choose this one over here. You can open them up, and then basically you have all these different processes. You have this process rack, and you can do things like, Gary, you know, in the case where people are normalizing files to you to within an inch of your life, you could choose to normalize them to a new target level loudness.
Right.
You could, you know, just do a static move where I always usually bring the gain down 10 dB of everything I get sent. Well, do it here.
Definitely.
Do it. Just batch convert it, right?
So if this
fade
was
ins, fade outs, everything.
So this way I could leave the fader at 0 instead of bringing the faders all the way down and readjusting the gain structure and all that. Just have to get the fader back in the sweet spot. It's much easier.
So these things that you're doing are affecting everything that you just drove.
Yeah. So think of this as like a master fader. You know, and then think of those as like individual files that are on channels, and I would be just exporting their exact range. So we also have, they've also built in some things like, for example, we have a declicker, remove DC offset, things like this. We have tools to extract a section, join files, merge mono files, split multi-channel file. So it's a really, really great general purpose batch converter. But for the purpose of what you're saying, you know, maybe you want to, for example, let's take the gain of everything, and you would want to go like -5. And then I want to choose an output format. So this is going to be wave 24, 96. Stereo, I'll leave this as stereo. And then once you've dragged these files in, you've added them. It's just a matter of clicking the process button. And these are going to go ahead and fire off, and it's going to be processing according to whatever's sitting in that process rack. And I could have third-party plugins too, right?
Oh my gosh. That's great. So you could apply a plugin directly to the file, all of these files, all at the same time.
So you were saying like, oh, that whole thing sounds good, but it's a little dark.
Right.
Then you could go in and choose something like, for example, I could have taken a Pro EQ and I could have said, right, well, let's just give it the happy face, and maybe we'll just put a little bit of a low cut on or something like that. You know, I would stick to broad strokes, but things like that where you just need to fire through and process a bunch of files all at once. But the thing is, you can do as many. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do 5 files. It's like you could do thousands of files in one shot.
Yeah, you know. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just want to point it out that if you notice while we're doing this, how quickly it's done. It's really fast too. It's not like, oh, let me go get lunch and come back. It's like it's done like.
And I don't have a smoking fast computer. I got a 2015 MacBook Pro.
Right. So if someone is running one of the newest laptops or one of the newest Mac Minis or whatever, this will be done in no time.
That's so cool. What I was going to say was also, you know, a lot of times I'll get sent files from another DAW to mix, and it drives me crazy because I'll get like Ableton files and they all come over as stereo, you know, stereo files for like each kick drum and each snare drum and stuff like that. So that's another feature of the batch converter where I can just take all of that stuff and make them mono files, which is, for my workflow, that's what I like.
Yeah, I can't wait to start bringing this into my workflow. I mean, I'm doing everything in Studio One now. If I needed to do that, I would drag them all into the arrange window, and then I would drag them right back out by changing my Studio One song format. But it's not. It's like a carpenter using a brick hammer.
That's right.
It'll get the job done, but it's not the right tool for the job. This is the tool that I've needed. This is the tool I want.
So just to reiterate, the price of this batch converter is $49.
That's great.
Which is probably easily half the price of anything else that's available on the market. You know, a real proper batch converter, and it's already integrated once you add it as an add-on. And basically the way that our add-ons operate is you download the add-on and drag it to the start page, and auto activates and installs for you.
Yeah, that's great.
Well,